Hello, Ross here from the Clean Handbook. Today we are going to be discussing the differences between training once a week and 5 times a week. What are the pros? What are the pros? What are the cons? Which one should you do? Which is better for you? Before we get into why or the differences between them, click subscribe below if you have not done already, and let's crack on. The first caveat, regardless of how many times you are planning on training or how many times you do train every week, is that you have to work hard every time you train. It's no good training 5 times a week if you're only putting 30% effort in and just getting through the session and just using it as a reward or as a way to identify yourself and saying, I'm the guy who goes to the gym all the time. That does not work. Regardless of how many times you go, you have to work hard every single time. If you're tired, if you are knackered, if you know that you cannot put all your effort into it, then don't do it. Rest and recover. That is going to be much better for you. So for the rest of the video, we are going to assume that you are working as hard as you possibly can. You are not tired from overtraining. You are not tired from work that you've been doing outside of the gym. You are 100% focused and ready to attack your session. The second factor that decides how many times a week you should be training is your lifestyle. It has to fit in with what you currently do. If you are always traveling around the country with work, or you have loads of 7 children to look after, then training 5 times a week is probably going to be unrealistic and probably not necessary. If you're looking after 7 children, you're probably lifting and moving and pushing enough things around, and to be honest, too stressed to train 5 times a week. I don't have 7 children. I've no idea how that would be, what that would be like in real life, but I imagine I would not be going to the gym 5 times a week, or not have the energy to go to the gym 5 times a week if I was looking after 7 children. So how busy you are, how likely it is that you are going to make it to the gym 5 times a week is your second factor, which decides how many times you should be training every week. Next, if you are just starting out in the gym, I guess it's January at this time of year. You might not be watching it in January, but right now it is January. So if you are watching it right now and you are just starting off your gym journey, the worst mistake that you could possibly make is starting off training 5 times a week or a high number of times a week, because you aren't going to stick to it. This is one of the biggest reasons why people fail when they start training in the gym. They get the perfect program off the internet, which requires them to train 4 or 5 times a week with only 2 or 3 days off, and it burns them out. They are running on motivation to start with, which is good, which allows them to complete the first month, 2 months, maybe just the first week, but then the motivation runs out, the fitness levels aren't quite there yet, and they can't sustain that 5 times a week of training. To combat that, very simple. Start off low. Start off training once a week. Once you are used to that, once you are recovering well from that, then go to 2 a week. Same process. Build through it, build your fitness levels, increase your or decrease your recovery time, and then go to 3 a week. And you'll find a threshold that you are then happy with. Plus, you aren't then relying on motivation and perseverance to actually get you to go to the gym 5 times out of 7 days every single week. And on a similar topic, you need to recover properly. If you're training 5 times a week, let's go with bodybuilding sort of principles for a second. So you are splitting up your training chest and back, arms, and then legs on another day. You can't then train chest on Monday and then arms on Tuesday and then chest again on Wednesday, because your arms and your upper body gets no rest whatsoever. So you have to, if you are training 5 times a week, you have to periodize in a way that it's not going to completely wipe you out and hurt you more than progress you or help you progress. If you aren't following bodybuilding protocols, if you are on a fat loss, weight loss program, then it tends to be more of a full body program, then you're probably not going to need to train 5 times a week anyway. Maybe for you, training 4 times is more than enough. And you would have to split that in terms of what you do on each day. So again, it simplifies it very much, and I don't like splitting up body part wise or body parts on certain days. But let's say if you're trying to lose fat, you do an upper body program on Monday, lower body program on the Tuesday, so your upper body rests for Tuesday, and then you have a whole rest day on Wednesday, and then you go back to the upper body program on Thursday, lower body program on Friday. So your upper body has got Tuesday, Wednesday to recover, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And your lower body has got Wednesday, Thursday to recover, and then Monday, Tuesday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday to recover. And finally, something that I preach all the time is that the best program for you is the one that you can stick to. It isn't the 5 a week versus the 1 a week. The 5 a week is not necessarily better than the 1 a week if you can't stick to the 5 a week long term. If you do it for a few months and then quit, that program was terrible. The 1 a week will have been much better for you because it's more sustainable. Here at the Clean Handbook, we are more all about long-term changes and long-term results that you can stick to. So the best program is the one that you stick to. 5 times a week isn't necessarily better than once a week. You have to figure out, it's probably something in between for you, and you have to figure out what that is based on motivation, based on your goal, based on your actual want to do it, and the actual time that you have available. Mainly, maybe you only have 3 hours every single week to actually dedicate to the gym. If that is the case, then a 5 a week program is no good for you whatsoever. So there we go. 1 a week training versus 5 a week training. As with most complicated answers, it is completely dependent upon you. You work out what is best for you, and as long as you can stick to it, awesome. Thank you for checking out the Clean Handbook. If you have not done so already, click subscribe and check some of our other videos out here and here. Peace!